Every single human is at risk at a rising epidemic. Obesity. With fast food at our fingertips and the less active humans are getting, I know we've all seen the arguments, is it okay to be overweight? Is it okay to be fat? Is it okay to be a plus-sized model? Is it healthy to be a plus-sized person in general? I wanted to know yes or no. Now, you might ask, what does it even mean to be overweight? Obesity is defined as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to health. And while doing some research, I found out that this is very, very, very common in the United States. Some would actually say that we're in the middle of a national obesity crisis. 65% of the United States citizens today are overweight and obese. And what's even worse, more than 15% of today's children are all obese. Now this is when things got really bad, and actually I was stunned by what I found out. In March of 2023, the World Obesity Federation released a report stating that by 2035, over 4 billion people, more than half of the world's population, will be obese. How? So you're gonna tell me that the movies I watched as a kid, Wall-E, things like that, that's gonna be true?
Well, then what do you want to do?
I don't know.
That's gonna be more than half the world's population. I can't even fathom a world that every time I walk outside, someone is at risk of losing their life just because of how much we weigh. Now, some would call this a stigma, a stereotype, that it's bad to be overweight. So while conducting this research, I hopped on the other side of the argument, that it's good to be overweight and obese. Because inherently, I think we all know the effects or the stigma around being overweight, around being obese, around being fat. So I wanted to see the other side of the argument. While studying, I found an article that was about a study in 2005 that found people with a high body mass index in the overweight category were actually at a lower risk of death than those with a normal BMI. This alone was surprising enough. With this information, does that truly mean that being overweight, that being obese is truly just a stigma? That it really doesn't affect your health that much? That it really doesn't cause any much more badness into your life? What does this mean? In another article, it said about the same thing. Overweight people live longer, and they are less likely to die from certain conditions that a person at a normal body weight mass index would die from. While researching, I also found articles stating that it's okay to be fat. In fact, that was the title of the article, and it just went on to say how being overweight is just a stigma. There's no real health benefits of not being fat. There's no real difference between a healthy person and an overweight person. In fact, that both of them are healthy. Both sides of this argument strike me. You guys may not know, but I used to be overweight and I used to be very, very, very fat as a child. It always bothered me to the point where I always wanted to be skinny. I didn't care how skinny I was, but I just always wanted to be skinny. And you know, this plays into a part of that stigma, the stigma of being fat, that you're unhealthy. But at the same time, I always loved basketball. I always loved basketball and I always played basketball. I always felt like I was one of the best in my grade or things like that. But does that mean I'm healthy? It is sad to say that the country I'm living in is the most obese country in the world, with 1 in 3 adults being obese and 1 in 11 being severely obese. If this is truly an epidemic, what can we do to stop it? Eat healthier, exercise. But then why are there two sides of the ball? I truly couldn't figure this out. But with that being said, this raised a dying question in me that I had to ask the public. Is it okay to be fat?
Yes.
And why?
Because it's okay to be gay.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Is it okay to be fat?
If you happy with it, yeah, like,
Damn. Yeah.
You trying to get, I don't want to get canceled. Nah. Gotta work out, bro.
If you want to.
Bro, I'm fat as fuck right now, so I say yeah.
Hell yeah. Why not?
If you're okay with being fat, that means you're okay with not being better with yourself.
For sure. I mean, everyone has their own bodies. Everyone's, you know, they have their own skin.
It's not okay to be fat because your physical appearance is a reflection of your mental.
no. I'm gonna be honest, bro. As a former big man myself, still got a little chubs in me. It's really not.
If you're working towards getting better, then I guess not. But if you're just trying to, stay like that, then nah, bro, you ain't healthy. Fuck that.
Thank you. Sorry for the change of sceneries, boys, but we're back. Now, honestly, I was very surprised by this conclusion. More people in the fitness gym said it's okay to be fat than it isn't. This actually goes to show that we've came a long way in society. But have we? With the people that said yes, they surrounded their answer around happiness. that, oh, if they're happy, then why not? Oh, they're happy in their own skin, let them be happy. But honestly, is this happiness? In this context of your own health, is happiness truly ideal? You know, I'd feel like I'd be happy eating junk food and eating donuts all day, eating pizza all day, eating the foods I shouldn't be eating all day. But guess what? I can't. I feel like when it comes to your overall health, you cannot think like that, oh, I'm gonna eat this donut, oh, I'm gonna live unhealthy because I'm happy. But yeah, like I was saying, in certain situations, you cannot look to always be happy. Sometimes you truly have to look out for your best self, and sometimes you're not going to be happy in the process, you know? When people make these fitness transformations, when people do things like that for their own benefit, it takes a long time, and that's delayed gratification. You have to work now to be better later. Some people are happy smoking weed, some people are happy drinking all day, some people are happy doing the things they shouldn't be doing, and I feel like this is one of them. I feel like you should be healthy in life, but for the people that said no to this question, they kept on correlating it to hard work. Oh, your body is a reflection of your mental, you know, kind of giving the stigma that just because you're fat, you're not a hard worker. And honestly, I don't really agree with that. Some of the people that I know hit the gym every day are also some of the laziest people I know in real life. I actually went ahead and tried to research this if there was even any anecdotal evidence on it, and there wasn't. The best thing I can find is that working out will increase your mental and your physical output, but when it comes into real life things, it didn't really show that. The world often fixates on superficial bodies and images that are just hard to recreate. You know, there are fat people in this world that are very unhealthy, and there are people that are the most fit in their lives that are very unhealthy. But as long as you're healthy is the most important thing. The way it can boost your energy, can reduce you from risks, your quality of life, your mental health. The list goes on and on and on. And honestly, like I said, if you go to your doctor right now and he tells you you're unhealthy, you're fat, you're obese, I feel like you should do something about it. But like I said, I don't know if this is truly bad or not. Is it okay to be fat? Is it not? I don't know. I read something earlier that weight is not the measure of health. So why do we think like that? You know, maybe it's because how we were brought up in school. Maybe it's because what we're taught. But there's always a fine line between healthy and unhealthy. And I feel like you should never cross that. I can personally speak from my experiences. Through elementary to a little bit of middle school, I was overweight. You know, I was never happy with myself. I was never confident, and this led me to be a shy kid now. This really affected me a lot. And like I said, I could have been that kid that, oh, I'm just a kid, you know, I could keep on eating donuts. But honestly, my mother is the one that forced me to work out. She was always very hard on me about my weight, but honestly, I'm thankful. I remember it was times my mother would force me to walk on a treadmill, hide all the junk food, hide all the sodas, and just make me work. I had to eat salad every single day. But like I said, I'm thankful now. I remember the doctor told me I was obese one time and my mother actually cried, and that's what started all of this. No matter what, I want you guys to ask yourself these type of questions. The questions nobody wants to answer. The questions that are hard to answer. The questions that people are scared of. I'm gonna keep getting the answers. You know, there might not be ever a definite answers through these videos, but I promise I want to share some enlightenment and I want to change the world. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. I want you guys to answer this question. Is it okay to be fat?